Hi, everybody, and welcome to a special bite-sized version of my True Teacher Talk on grading. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Michelle, and I'm an Education Account Manager supporting schools here at TextHelp. In my prior life, I was an elementary school teacher for over a decade. As we all know, grading is a dreadful endeavor for teachers. I know how busy everybody in a school is, so my goal here is to provide you with a quick overview of grading woes and then give you the most important, exciting tidbits of information on the grading solutions you've all been waiting for. So when it comes to grading, there are many stressors for teachers. The first of which is that it is time consuming. Need I say more? I have spent countless Friday nights at home grading, more than I would like to admit, but there was simply not enough time in a school day to get it all done. Next up is providing quality feedback. To do so requires not only time, but also deep thought. And by the end of a school day, I did not have a lot of brain power in order to do so. Next up is it creates pressure, and it does this for both teachers and students. I know I'm not the only one who would cut corners when my correct pile became insurmountable. And that in itself is sad because students would do work and basically got zero feedback, just to check in my grade book for completion. So it was basically done in vain, but I felt rushed. I had to keep up with a consistent grading schedule. And then comes the pressure for students. Assessments don't always provide the full picture and can be discouraging for students when they receive their grades. Grades kind of hang like a dark cloud over their learning because they're extrinsically motivated to get high marks instead of intrinsically motivated to actually learn and develop skills. And last up is tracking assignments and student accountability. A teacher wears many hats, one of which is a part-time assignment bounty hunter. And then once you actually get those assignments in terms of student accountability, I would say like 8 out of 10 times, students wouldn't even read feedback unless it was actionable and had next steps or clear goals for future work. So as you can probably relate and see here, grading is a huge stressor for educators on top of everything else they have to worry about and balance on the daily. So if anything I have said resonates with you, never fear. TextHelp has solutions for that. Using Google, Microsoft, Mac, no worries, TextHelp has you covered within these platforms as well as across a variety of learning management systems. Trust me, having everything on the computer holds you way more accountable and reduces the temptation to stress recycle when you're drowning in papers. So let's explore how you can streamline your grading routines and buy yourself back some time and happiness. First up is WriQ. Thank goodness WriQ exists and digitizes the entire writing process for students and teachers from start to end. It's a tool designed to not only accelerate student writing proficiency, but also to allow educators to quickly assess and motivate students by providing fast and efficient feedback. So WriQ enables teachers to provide feedback in literally a fraction of the time that they're used to. A detailed report can be sent to your students for every type paper that you've graded. That includes 3 important elements. Number 1 is the WriQ score, which I am a huge fan of because WriQ automatically scores the mechanics of writing for you. It assesses accuracy, vocab, grammar, spelling, and this is great because it allows you to focus on the substance of the paper, its content, structure, style, the real meat of the burger. And WriQ takes care of those more tedious details. Next up is the rubric score / rubric summary. So WriQ provides students with a detailed breakdown of how they scored on a rubric that either you provided or one that you used right from WriQ. And last but not least is feedback. You can provide your students with both written and verbal feedback. So exciting. These 3 elements really allow for grading to be faster and more accurate and consistent across assignments. And even better, WriQ also gives teachers a dashboard. It's one location to find and analyze all of their student writing, eliminating the need for messy piles of papers and lugging home heavy bags full of essays. Next up is Fluency Tutor. Fluency Tutor is our oral reading assessment solution. It not only speeds up the entire progress monitoring process, but it also eliminates the need to flip through a bunch of booklets, mark them up, and keep them organized in order to assess your students' fluency levels. So once your students record themselves reading a passage out loud, the quick score tool comes in. It can be used to provide an in-depth assessment of reading progress. As you listen, if you hear a mistake, you simply click where the mistake occurred and mark the appropriate error type. Then just repeat until the recording is finished. So neat. And then what's even cooler is that it provides you with some different metrics like percentage of words correct and error rate, and that is automatically calculated for you as you score. And if you assign comprehension questions to your student, their score will also be automatically calculated and shown here. Isn't that great? And as if it can't get any better, once you click the Save Scoring button, you can then complete a quick rubric to rate the essential elements of fluency, the student's expression, phrasing, smoothness, and pace, while also giving you the option to add any typed comments. Wowza! This tool is jam-packed with options for teachers to provide meaningful feedback. Not gonna lie, I think I would actually be excited to use Fluency Tutor. It's so neat. Next up is EquatIO, which is our digital whiteboard and equation editor. I'm looking at you, math and STEM teachers. This is a tool that's really going to help you streamline your grading. So for EquatIO Math Space, we're really thrilled to provide teachers with an awesome grading workflow. So MathSpace gives you this navigation pane that allows you to rapidly enter scores, give feedback to your students, and toggle between submissions. Underneath the scoring window, you will find a feedback section, which allows you to enter a score and feedback for the student. Then you simply press the send feedback button and your job is done and you can click to your next student. You can also use the drop-down arrow to skip ahead to a specific student's assignment, and the blue dots indicate that a student has opened the assignment, but they haven't submitted their response yet. That simple feature can save you lots of time knowing which assignments are actually completed and needing to be graded. And when the check is green, you know you already corrected it. How satisfying. Students can easily access their grades when they log into their own MathSpace dashboard and go to their submitted assignments. It's truly a beautiful thing, and it will definitely trim off a large percentage of your time spent on grading. See what I did there? Math reference. And last but not least is our flagship product, Read&Write. This fan favorite is chock full of literacy tools that benefit all students, but there's also a tool hiding among the rest that can be a teacher's best pal when it comes to making grading Google Docs quick and painless. I introduce you to my pal, Voice Note. You can simply speak your feedback instead of having to type it up to 1 minute, and you can insert as many voice notes as you want throughout their work. Wow! And your students who struggle with literacy and benefit more from being provided with auditory input will simply love it. What a great tool. Did you know that Read&Write and EquatIO are always free for teachers? In a society where nothing is given for free, especially to teachers, I highly recommend taking advantage of these opportunities to further explore these resources. So your homework is to reach out to whoever sent you this video so they can demo these solutions for you in real time. We've gone over the why of how these solutions work, and the next step is exploring how. Seeing these solutions in action is exciting and inspiring. And as we know from teaching, it's one thing to be told something, it's a whole other thing to experience something. I've also left one of our beloved products off of this video on purpose. So on that note, I highly encourage you to reach out to your education account manager to learn all about TextHelp's entire suite of solutions. Thanks so much for joining me today for True Teacher Talk. Until next time, thanks again.